Most folks shatter long before life even swings its real punch. Not because the world's too brutal, but because their minds are way too fragile. They let feelings drag them around. They let chatterboxes shape who they are. They let terror call the shots. And when the heat's on, they collapse like sandcastles. But Machiavelli cracked a code most mortals never touch. The toughest mind is not the sweetest. It's the most locked down. He knew your brain's your fortress. Slack off on ruling it, and outsiders storm right in. See, mental armor isn't luck. You don't just wake up bulletproof to busybody's noise. You forge it brick by brick with grit, distance, and cunning plays. The world's a relentless bully, hurling shade, stabs and flops to crack you open. Most cave instantly. But you're no crowd pleaser. You're here because you're sick of moods hijacking your life. You're here to own your responses, your laser focus, your unbreakable calm, like a shadow king gripping his realm with zero fanfare. So pause right now. Who's bossing your head? You or the circus out there? That call carves your fate. Let the chaos puppeteer your feels, and you're forever its punchline. But seize your mind's reins, and you're invincible. Untouchable by flops, untouchable by backstabs, untouchable by storms. Every jab, every slight, every trial just hones your edge sharper. From this second, channel Machiavelli. Cut emotional cords. Watch the human zoo. Strap on discipline like steel plate. Wield silence like a blade. 'Cause once you've thrown your thoughts, your peace is raid-proof forever. Now, before we unleash the 7 savage lessons, roar this with me and slam it in the comments. From today, I pick power over feels. Number 1, own the story. Power ignites in the spotlight. How they eye you sets how they bow, believe, or tremble. Machiavelli nailed it. The globe bows not to facts but to flash. Folks skip your motives, they swallow your show. They don't probe your soul, they chase your vibe. In our image-addicted arena, narrative boss owns the whole damn game. You could be a genius, a beast, a titan, but let randos script your tale, and you hand over the scepter pre-fight. The deadliest trap? Banking on raw truth as your shield. It flops. Truth's a whisper, a ghost, a shrug off. Machiavelli dropped men judged by the eye rather than the hand because everyone can see but few can touch. Translation: the world dances to visuals, not vibes. They price tag your worth before your lips even twitch. They size up your grit from your stance, your vibe, your ice-cool poise, your enigma. Flashed out and the wolves devour you whole, radiate command, and they freeze before daring a swipe. To go mentally bulletproof, grab the pen, author your own epic. Craft how they decode your quiet, your moves, even your slip-ups. Never overshare. The second you justify, you've tossed your throne. A steely hush roars louder than frantic pleas. Let 'em speculate, let 'em puzzle, let 'em obsess. Ignorance fuels your fire. The less they grasp, the more you grip. Every space hums with a shadow clash for the crown, a perception showdown. Yappers crave spotlight, geniuses seize strings. Stride in, no intro needed. Your aura announces before your lips part. Folks sniff confidence miles off. They taste power pre-proclamation. Every flick, every beat, every sly glance blasts. I'm the boss. Skip applause, nail precision. Get this, master the gaze and you warp the world. Unfazed, you're a fortress. Frantic, you're prey. Storm through turmoil looking serene. That mirage shields fiercer than 1,000 excuses. That's influence's dark art. Brains buy what eyes binge. Flood 'em with your cool, sharp, tactical glow, and they'll crown you, even mid in a grind to lock it down. Machiavelli preached, reps the bedrock of rule. Everyone sees what you seem. Few touch what you are. Never slack. Fake iron when wobbly, fake steady when slammed. Tame your pitch, your stare, your quips, your spark. Your quiet should drown their din. Labels incoming? Don't flinch, repaint them with deeds. Underdog vibes, let winds roar, doubts hurled, hit back with chill swagger. Control ain't sly tricks. It's steering your glow through the madhouse. Nail it and you ditch approval hunts for instant awe. no more their puppet. You script your saga, 'cause story's king claims his fate. Now smash this vow in comments, I own my aura. Number 2, cut emotional cords. Feels are the world's sneakiest leash. One poke at rage, gloom, or panic, and they collar you. Machiavelli clocked it sharpest. Hotheads are clocks, tick-tock predictable, ripe for puppetry. Detach ain't icy, it's muscle in stealth mode. The juice to eye pandemonium without it crashing your core. Unhook and you quit hemorrhaging juice on trash. No knee-jerk to slurs, letdowns, fake hopes. You pivot to calculated strikes over feel-fueled flails, and boom, you're lethal. Crowds brag authenticity like it's armor. Nah, raw feels a chink's masked as truth. Snap too fast, you flash your weak spots. You gift maps to your minds. Savvy sharks smell it, poke blind and steer you. That's Puppet Strings 101, not brute force, but field flaw hacks. Machiavelli zinged. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. He meant smarts, throttle, strike when it suits, not spasm. Fools blast now, sages freeze till fangs flash. Detach ain't feel numb, it's feel proof. Ache without the abyss, spot the knife without peace implosion. Hack's dead simple, you're not the storm, you're the watcher. Every mood's a flash flood, thunderous, feral, fleeting. Skip the chase, plant roots, let it rage by. That rock steady, pure dominance. Machiavelli's command steel, cool when crews crack. That Zen spooks them, they can't crack the code. Unreadable, untouchable, picture it. Same barb hits two. One erupts, torching cred and cool. The other locks eyes, smirks silent. Victor Nuratu conquers wordless. No clash, he rerouted. No brawl, he scanned. That's mind judo gold, not Barry Fields, boss 'em. You gatekeep what escapes. You pick response hour. You call strike or stall. That throne split hacks rulers from pawns. Machiavelli schooled chiefs. Seem merciful, loyal, kind, real, devout, and be it, but rig your head to flip ruthless when stakes scream. Translation, unplug fields if they sabotage your play. Fuel your goal, unleash. Sink your ship, muzzle. Fields bow to you, not chain you. Detach guards your Zen fortress. Quit knee-jerking and life's a hush. No juice wasted on proofs. No sermons to thick skulls. No fairness fantasies in power's jungle. Field gap, Shita's laser sight. Swap snags for chess moves. Quit personalizing, mine it as intel. That's when you start crushing it on the sly. Master emotional unplugging and you ditch chaos's chokehold. No barb, backstab, or bust can truly nick you. You might flex, but you never snap. You glide through the grind with Zen steel, not jitters, 'cause no punk rattles a mind that ghosts reactions. Slam this vow in comments, I feel, but I never fold. Number 3, brace for backstabs, bank on blueprints. Treachery ain't a glitch, it's the game's pulse. Clock that loyalty's a lease, and you'll quit gasping when snakes flip. Machiavelli mic dropped, devotion dies when their gain dries. To thrive in ego's arena, swap heart trust for chess vision. Sages skip oaths, they stack safeguards for when vows vaporize. Crowds crash, 'cause they crave constancy in a quick-fix jungle. They crown loyalty holy, but it's just, what's in it for me? Prep for betrayal ain't paranoia, it's bulletproofing. Machiavelli zapped. The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. Boom. Folks flip for profit, no hard feels. Stabs ain't always villainy, they're just raw human code. Nail that and you swap rage for razor insight. Betrayal flips from gut punch to goldmine intel. It unmasks gain grubbers over honor hounds, fakers fueled by favors, deserters when tides turn. Elite brains skip loyalty crutches, they forge frameworks, no people pins for survival. Systems lock it down. Heart trust? You're hooked. Blueprint trust? You're a lone wolf king. Always rig a solo win playbook, even if the whole crew bails. Stack so no solo soul can torch your vibe or velocity. That's not frosty, it's fierce smarts. Ditch blind faith fever. Nah, it sharpens bonds. You prize moves over mouth, tracks over talk. Betrayal brace kills illusion overdoses. You X-ray ass kissers. spot glitchy grins, and decode agendas pre-heart hit. Machiavelli swore foresight's the ultimate flex. A boss who sniffs scams pre-strike stays scepter grip tight. He penned, "The wise man does not expose himself needlessly to danger, since there are few things for which he cares sufficiently. But he is willing in great crisis to give even his life, knowing that under certain conditions it is not worthwhile to live." No doom scroll, straight fire realism. Care like a sniper, selective shots. Shield juice from junk quests and flaky crews. Masses melt not from stabs, but denial till the blade's buried. Machiavellian mode nukes that fog. It hugs human flip-flops as gospel, gears up fierce. No heart walls, just gates for trial-by-fire vets. Even then, clock, anyone can pivot. That's not sour, it's supremacy. Alert, not acidic. Guarded, not glacial. Woke, not wobbly. Betrayal brace kills the fear. You hit mental fortress mode, 0 shocks left. Blueprints, see your buckler. Clarity, your chainmail. Ditch loyalty lusts. Demand ore via ice-cool prep. 'Cause the stab spotter never bows. Roar this in comments. I bank on blueprints, not bleeds. Number 4, fake frost. Think glacial. In Riot World, chill's the scariest sledgehammer. Fools tag poise as pudding soft. But Machiavelli weaponized it. Psy-war nitro. Glow serene while squads shatter and you thrown up wordless. Zen brain scans what frenzy fumbles. Ice thinker unmasks emotions smokescreens. Strut steady in storm's eye and dread drips. They sniff your lockdown, that riddle reigns supreme. Machiavelli scripted. A prince must learn how not to be good. No gorefest, he meant feel-forged steel, unplugging nice when it nerfs your throne. Kind's cakewalk. Ice cool when infernos roar, god tier. They bet you'll bust, you ghost it, their gotcha implodes. Chill spooks the shaky, stalls the snap jumpers. They glitch on your no react, no clash, no crack. Your hush mirrors their mess. Your anchor outs their anarchy. The globe bows to pressure-proof cores, 'cause they're unicorns. Most brains bow to knee-jerks. They yap too fast, pounce too soon, torch all to feels. The cold strategist pauses, studies, and chooses precisely when to move. Patience is not weakness. It's control over time. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. That balance requires a calm surface and a calculating mind beneath it. You must appear tranquil like water, yet sharp like ice below the surface. People should see no trace of your internal process. Never reveal tension, doubt, or fear. Let them wonder if you even feel it. The less they know about your emotional state, the more unpredictable you become. Unpredictability is power. It forces others to play on your terms. To appear calm, you must first train your inner voice. Every irritation, every insult, every unexpected problem must be met with one question. Does reacting help me win? If the answer is no, you remain silent. That silence unsettles people more than anger ever could. A calm reaction kills arguments faster than aggression. The cold mind doesn't seek victory through words. It wins through energy. Even when surrounded by hostility, keep your tone slow, your eyes steady, your gestures minimal. Confidence is communicated through stillness, not noise. This lesson is not about hiding emotion, but mastering display. You must control the theater of your presence. What people see should always serve your advantage. Appear rational when others are irrational. Smile when they expect rage. Walk slowly when they rush. Show that you are never moved unless you choose to be. Over time, this aura becomes armor. No one knows your breaking point because you never reveal it. You become the calm in every storm, the observer among reactors, the strategist among victims. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My calmness is my power. Number 5, keep power in silence. Silence is not emptiness. It is control in its purest form. The more you talk, the more you reveal. Every unnecessary word becomes a window into your mind. And once people can read you, they can predict you. Machiavelli understood that power is preserved through mystery. He knew that silence is not a lack of communication. It's a deliberate strategy of dominance. When you speak less, people start to imagine more. They fill the silence with their own fears, doubts, and assumptions. That uncertainty becomes your advantage. The quiet man is never ignored. He's studied, analyzed, and whispered about. The world underestimates those who speak little until they act. And by the time they do, it's already too late to stop them. Words are cheap. Everyone uses them to seek validation. But power doesn't explain itself. When you justify your choices, you give others authority to judge them. When you argue, you admit that someone else's opinion matters. Silence destroys that illusion. It sends a clear message. You don't owe anyone understanding. Machiavelli once said, "Never was anything great achieved without danger." He meant that even restraint carries risk, but silence is a calculated risk. It invites misunderstanding, but it also commands fear. People don't fear what they can predict. They fear what they can't interpret. The quiet individual who listens more than he speaks becomes the most dangerous presence in any room, because everyone wonders what he's thinking and what he's planning. To master silence, you must first overcome the urge to prove yourself. Most people speak to protect their ego. They explain, defend, and overstate to appear in control. But every explanation leaks insecurity. The Machiavellian mind has no such need. It speaks only with intention, only when the outcome demands it. You must learn to be comfortable with pauses, with the tension of unspoken words, with letting others drown in their own noise. When you stay silent, you force others to expose their thoughts. You learn their weaknesses while protecting yours. Silence turns conversations into mirrors that reflect the truth of others, but never yours. In negotiations, arguments, or confrontations, silence bends the battlefield. It makes the impatient reveal too much. It makes the arrogant lose control. Every second you hold your tongue, they show more of their strategy. Machiavelli's philosophy thrived on observation. The silent observer sees everything the loud forgets to notice. You can read micro-expressions, tone shifts, inconsistencies, details hidden from those too busy talking. Silence is not absence of power, it's its concentration. Like a blade sheathed but ready, it holds energy without wasting it. Never underestimate how silence shifts perception. A person who speaks rarely is assumed to think deeply. Their words carry weight because they are scarce. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. You just have to be the one who doesn't need to speak. That alone separates you from the impulsive and the insecure. Over time, silence becomes your identity. It makes you unpredictable, respected, and feared all at once. When you do decide to speak, your voice cuts through the air like a weapon because it's used with precision, not habit. Power is not loud, it's measured. The strongest presence doesn't need noise to be noticed. It needs composure, observation, and patience. Keep your plans hidden, your feelings unreadable, and your words minimal. When people can't decode you, they can't defeat you. Silence keeps you untouchable, untamed, and one step ahead of every mind trying to control yours. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks power. Number 6, master the art of absence. Presence loses value when it becomes constant. The more accessible you are, the less you are respected. Machiavelli understood that scarcity is the essence of influence. He knew that a leader who appears too often becomes ordinary, but one who appears rarely becomes a myth. Absence is not withdrawal, it's strategy. It creates distance that breeds curiosity, authority, and longing. When people can't always reach you, they start to imagine your worth. They replay your words, analyze your silence, and anticipate your return. That anticipation is power. Every great strategist knows that timing matters more than frequency. Appear too much, and your presence loses its weight. Appear selectively, and every entrance feels like an event. The weak crave constant attention because they fear being forgotten. The strong withdraw deliberately to make their presence heavier. Machiavelli once said, "Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear." The wise individual understands that absence can create both. When you disappear, people either miss you or fear losing your favor. Both emotions give you control. Continuous exposure dulls mystery. When people know everything about you, they stop respecting you. But when you become slightly out of reach, they begin to imagine more than they know. That imagination strengthens your image far more than visibility ever could. Absence also protects your mind from noise. Constant interaction drains focus and exposes your patterns. The Machiavellian thinker values solitude not for comfort, but for recalibration. When you remove yourself from the crowd, you regain perspective. You begin to see what others are too distracted to notice. The crowd moves by emotion. The detached mind moves by clarity. To master absence, you must learn to retreat without explanation. Don't announce your silence. Don't justify your distance. Simply vanish when necessary and return only when your presence serves a purpose. Those who notice your absence reveal who values you. Those who don't reveal who never mattered. The rarest minds understand the rhythm of presence. They know when to step forward and when to vanish. Machiavelli advised rulers to manage visibility carefully, understanding that distance sustains power. A constant flame burns out fast, but a controlled one lasts through time. You don't need to be everywhere to be felt. You need to be remembered. Your absence must speak louder than others' presence. Let people wonder where you are, what you're thinking, and why you withdrew. That uncertainty keeps you relevant even when you're gone. It makes your silence echo longer than their noise. Disappearing strategically also filters loyalty. The people who remain consistent during your silence are the ones who truly align with your vision. Absence becomes a test of character. It separates the curious from the committed. Most individuals seek attention because they measure worth by reaction. But reaction is fragile. True worth is measured by the silence that follows your absence. If people still talk about you, reference you, or try to interpret your actions while you're gone, you've already built power that doesn't depend on presence. When you master absence, you command attention without effort. You become an idea rather than just a person, something that lingers even when unseen. The world chases what it can't have and respects what it can't control. So step back when you feel the urge to overprove yourself. Create distance that magnifies your value. Disappear not to hide, but to remind the world that your time and energy are privileges, not guarantees. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My absence amplifies my power. Number 7, rule your mind. Rule everything. Every form of power begins within the mind. If you cannot command your thoughts, no strategy, wealth, or influence will ever last. Machiavelli understood that the greatest victories are won in silence within the walls of one's own mind. The world belongs to those who can direct their focus, while others drown in distraction. To rule your mind is to master every battlefield, because every external challenge starts as an internal reaction. The strongest person is not the one who controls others. It's the one who controls himself when everything tries to shake him. When you own your inner world, nothing external can truly touch you. Most people lose the fight long before it begins. They let anxiety dictate their direction and emotion dictate their decisions. Their thoughts move like leaves in the wind, driven by circumstance, guided by fear. Machiavelli saw this weakness clearly. He once wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." What he truly meant was that the environment reflects the mind. If your surroundings are chaotic, it's because your mind allows chaos. If your world is filled with noise, it's because your thoughts are unguarded. Control begins with awareness. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Discipline them like soldiers who must obey command. Your mind is both your servant and your master. If you fail to govern it, it will betray you. Every doubt, fear, and insecurity will rise and rule over your decisions. But once you learn to detach from impulsive thinking, your mind becomes a weapon sharper than any blade. Machiavellian strength is not born from aggression, it's born from composure. The disciplined thinker moves slower, but every move cuts deeper. He doesn't allow the past to haunt him or the future to overwhelm him. He lives in deliberate control of the present. That level of awareness is what separates the conquerors from the conquered. Mental mastery requires constant training. You must learn to replace fear with logic, emotion with intention, noise with silence. Every time your mind wanders toward weakness, pull it back through self-command. Every moment you resist impulse, you grow stronger. Over time, your thoughts start serving you instead of sabotaging you. The world cannot influence someone who is internally aligned. When insults, betrayal, or failure arrive, they lose power because your mind refuses to give them meaning. Power doesn't come from resisting the world. It comes from mastering how your mind interprets it. Machiavelli believed that reason must always rule over desire. Desire blinds judgment. Reason directs it. The one who can remain detached while still decisive becomes untouchable. Every empire begins as a disciplined thought. Every downfall begins as a distracted one. When your mind is ruled by fear, the world manipulates you through it. When your mind is ruled by strength, no manipulation can succeed. Control of mind equals control of destiny. You stop living reactively and start moving deliberately. Step by step, choice by choice, unshaken by chaos. Rule your mind as a sovereign rules a kingdom. Protect it from invasion by ignorance, corruption, and doubt. Feed it discipline. Guard it with focus. And let silence be its throne. Once you rule your thoughts, you no longer chase peace. You become it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My mind obeys only me. Being mentally untouchable doesn't mean you feel nothing. It doesn't mean you become cold, heartless, or disconnected from reality. It means that nothing, no insult, no betrayal, no failure can control you. You become the master of your reactions, the owner of your focus, and the architect of your peace. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every conflict becomes data. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to reinforce your control. Machiavelli taught that power is earned through discipline, observation, and strategy, not through luck or temporary favor. When you apply these lessons, you don't just survive the world, you move through it with authority, clarity, and unstoppable calm. Remember, control begins within. When you rule your mind, no external circumstance can shake your foundation. Detachment protects you. Silence amplifies you. Absence increases your value. Calmness intimidates. Strategy shields you from betrayal. And perception shapes reality around you. Each lesson locks into the next, forging an ironclad castle of mind-muscle nobody cracks. The bulletproof brain doesn't flinch. It crushes via vibe, groundwork, and grit weight. You quit life's puppet show and grab the damn strings. If these hits lit your fire, move. Smash like to swear your growth oath. Blast this vid to a soul starving for inner beast mode and sub this channel, because mind mastery is a marathon, not a sprint. Every fresh drop hones your edge, amps your playbook, and steels your spine. Hush, hustle, harness. That's the untouchable trail. Charge it, stack it, breathe it. Let the globe swing wild and smirk as zilch rattles you ever again. Slam those affirmations in comments. Let them thunder in your skull and vow to throne your head first. Because the instant you boss your brain, you boss it all.